Modules that create their own content types, like cataloger. There's infrastructural modules. These are the ones that you see in the menu and you never know what they're there for. CMS mailer. Sometimes you use, I've never clicked on new soap in 5 or 6 years of working with this stuff, but that's an infrastructural module. There's administrative modules, such as module manager. And then there's two kinds that you don't see very much of, event handlers. There's a user warning module that I created for this, and the source will be at the end of the end. I'm going to be giving out these slides, so you don't have to worry about copy. There's going to be a lot of source code, so don't worry about trying to catch that. So the user warning module was sort of a thought experiment. If an admin user gets removed, maybe you'd want to send an email to all the remaining admins saying, hey, Bob's no longer with the company, something like that. So that's something that you can do and automate, and it's actually quite simple. Similarly, a filter module is something you don't see a great deal of. I created a really quick one called regtm, where you provided your company name in the module, and then whenever any page is output, it finds your company name and puts a little registered trademark symbol after it. So simple things like that, which can be quite useful. So, ready? Let's write our first module. We're going to, of course, do the Hello World module, because that's what we programmers do. To do that, we create a directory in the modules directory called Hello World. And the first file we create is also called Hello World. And you can see this is one of those things that comes up and is important. The case of the name of your directory and the case of the name of your module need to match. So here's our first module. This is a very small module for starters. Again, the case of the name that you're declaring needs to match. And what we're saying here is the module API is object-oriented. There's a module class. And there's a whole set of methods that come as part of that API. And each of the methods has a default, which may be what you want, but most of the time you're going to be overriding selected methods to do what it is you want to do. This is sort of the core. You extend CMS module, which is the basic one, unless you're Cal guy, in which case you extend CG extensions. Now, my personal opinion is that really should be a separate module, that there's a dependency, so you don't break the dependency system, but you can do it either way. You need to implement a function getName, which returns the name of the module. That probably will go away in future versions because the system can actually determine that. It just wasn't written in. We're telling the system this is a plugin module because we're going to be putting this in a page. And the function doAction is where all the important things that the module does takes place. And we'll go into what these parameters are later. Just as a very basic starter, we're just going to output the string hello world. So we've created our file. We go to our extensions. We see that hello world, since we didn't specify a version, 0.0.0.1. And unfortunately, it doesn't say beta. But anyway, so we created a page, which is hello world, and we put in our tag. This is the old form of doing module tags, and we can talk about how you can make this simpler, but the tag is CMS module, module equals hello world. Once again, the case sensitivity. And then we view a page, and there we go. So congratulations, you're done. Our next steps are we publish it on the Forge. We document to Subversion or Git so other people can contribute to it. We post on the forum, hey, we got this great new module. And then we wait for fame and fortune. Uh-oh. This is our first bitter, angry little man alert. Because within minutes of posting your module, you get a whole bunch of bug reports and feature requests. First one, why English only? Well, I'm an American. I don't speak any other language, you know. Capitalizing world is grammatically incorrect. Hello, world, you know. And I want to use this module in German, which is essentially the same as the first one. So one of the things you're going to learn to do as a module developer is reject a lot of the feedback you get. This is important for your sanity. You say that the world shouldn't be capitalized. You say, you know what, that works for me. If somebody wants to change it, they can fork the module, they can write their own. But we're going to solve the other problem by localizing the module and including language files. So what we do is within the Hello World module directory, we create a lang directory. And since I'm an English speaker, I'm going to create my initial language file, which is ENUS. And here's an example. Basically, for every word that you're going to display, you come up with a key that makes sense to you, and then the translation. So, hello world string, hello. And then in the action, instead of directly printing out the string, I call the function lang, passing my key. Then for translation of these things, you add the module to the translation center. And Renee is our resident expert on that. You do this by setting up externals in Subversion. And to be honest, I don't know how we do it in Git. Is it similar?
We don't yet.
Oh, we don't. Okay, I puzzled over that. This link is the canonical instructions on how to do this. And then essentially it results in an ext directory showing up in the lang file, in the lang directory. So here we have our German translation. This particular German translator was particularly exuberant and wanted to show extra characters. So instead of just saying "Hallo Welt," it's saying "Grüße," so more enthusiastic than the rest of us. Okay, so now our module is localized. It's checked into the repository, published, and now it's being downloaded all over the world. So surely our fame and fortune awaits us.